When I was younger, I played a lot of sports and competed in a lot of tournaments, mostly in football and volleyball. But it got to a time where I got quite cocky and I was eating a lot. Uh, because, well, I mean, my family never understood dieting or anything like that. Kind of just fed me. It's not their fault. And I was a kid. So it got to the point where I got very cocky and I thought I didn't need to work out. And inevitably I got quite fat, slow, bigger, which I'd like to say it infected my mentality. I started getting depressed because I was unhappy with my body image. And I was bullied and teased constantly. I was unable to play in the sports that I loved because of my size. I was not selected for any school teams, and so that led up to a lot of frustration, a lot of pent-up anger, and toxic mentality built up because I stupidly thought that I had no control over my situation, and I was too far gone and had nowhere to channel all this anger, no way to control it except take it out on my friends, family, and education, which actually took a serious toll. But then around 10 years ago, my friend randomly out of the blue told me this new martial arts place opened up. And what sold me was that it was run by a Russian Olympic wrestler with 3 other locals. And so I thought, okay, why not? Let's give it a shot. But I was really nervous. I had no idea what to expect because my MMA and Jiu-Jitsu was fairly new to a lot of people in that part of the world. And again, watching videos on YouTube of the UFC for us was pretty much non-existent. I didn't know what the UFC was. And my knowledge of martial arts derived from karate, boxing, from movies, from Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, and definitely wrestling from the WWE. So in the middle of our very first class, the cardio session killed me, and because I've never done anything like this before at this level of intensity. But then our head coach actually stops me. He pats me on the back and then takes his hand and measures my shoulders, and then he suddenly says I should take pride in my body and stop caring about what everyone else thinks, and I should immediately do more wrestling and jiu-jitsu. And ever since then, after the cardio sessions, he'd put me in a corner, make me do tons of solo drills, and I hated it. I hated it so much. It was so hard to keep up with everyone, and I felt like I was a failure. But in time, I learned to love it because I thought finally there was someone positively encouraging me, and I felt like they genuinely cared about myself and my progress. So first and foremost, Jiu-Jitsu has definitely taught me to be more disciplined, respectful to others, like their feelings, their opinions, and definitely their teachings. And more importantly, it's actually been a humbling journey because you could be the biggest guy in the gym and still also at the same time the weakest if you don't know the techniques. Like our coaches at the shed always say, it's always better to be proactive than reactive, because it's a constant game of chess and you need like a counter to every counter, because honestly it's our minds are being worked as much as our body. As to why I still do jiu-jitsu, well, besides trying to get in shape, it's definitely because of the people that you meet, the people that you train with, that you compete against, and definitely our coaches Obviously, they train you to the best of their abilities, but at the same time, they're molding you into the best versions of yourself. And unfortunately, many years ago, I kept having a lot of accidents, personal matters, got into a bit of trouble, broken a few bones. So it kept interrupting my training, kept going back and forth, and recreating that toxic mentality. But when I came back to Sri Lanka, it was really the coaches here at the shed that kind of kicked a little sanity back into me, and brought me back down to earth. As cheesy as that sounds, I definitely don't think I'd be who I am today if it wasn't for this art and my coaches. If you don't mind me saying, they definitely deserve a mention. So thank you to coaches Tariq, Ali, Taimur, Professor Arun, Dr. Harin, Coach Titira, Pragi, Duncan, Joe, Evishka, and Vimukti. Thank you so much for being an incredibly strong and positive pillar in our lives. Like, our successes in life are all derived from you. So honestly, to anyone else that would like to add something meaningful into their lives, I definitely encourage you to try out the shed, give them a chance, and you'll definitely walk away with a lifelong skill, a better person, and a second family.